Hey everyone, and welcome back to another monthly revenue report for the month of October. Now, to sum up October overall, it wasn't too bad, so I'm pretty pleased with that, and it wasn't too far off what I earned in September. It was pretty similar, which was kind of good. At least we didn't go too far backwards to where we were at the middle of the year. Obviously, if you've seen some of these videos before, you'll know that I've been experiencing a bit of a downturn with my revenue this year, and that's because one of my videos that did really well at the end of last year and continued into this year was actually earning the bulk of the revenue that I had. And then as that video tended to drop off browse features, that's when my revenue started to dip, which was pretty natural. It's what happens. Unfortunately, videos don't go viral forever and they don't generate that kind of revenue forever usually. So yeah, unfortunately it has been on a bit of a downturn this year, but you know what? I'm really positive for the next year and the kind of like turn that November and December tend to have with a lot of videos. So hopefully in the next few months, there might be a little bit of change in revenue. I have noticed that in the last 10 years or so of being on YouTube, and specifically with my photography channel that I have been running as well, I always find that there is that kind of like mid-year dip, and then it kind of slides back up around October, November, December, and then onwards, and then you'll find the dip that happens usually in January. So to be honest, YouTube revenue is kind of like this at times, and although you can get to a point where sometimes it can feel pretty consistent, there's always going to be those dips and those ups and downs basically. So I was pretty happy this month to just kind of not have really either. It was just pretty consistent, which was nice. But if you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Kaylee and I'm a beauty and fashion photographer based near Sydney, Australia, but I'm also a content creator, and I started this channel a few years ago to talk about all things business, social media, freelancing, and content creation. And if you haven't seen any of these videos before either, each month I actually sit down and do a monthly YouTube revenue report. I actually go through my AdSense for the month and what I earned, talk a little bit about the videos that did the best in terms of earnings, and then have a look at my CPM and RPM rates, which are the cost per mile that a lot of advertisers use to actually pay for ads on your videos, and then the rate per mile, which is RPM. That is actually your cut that you're receiving of the amount that the advertisers pay. So I always like to go through a few of the figures to see how they change month to month, and I feel like a lot of people find that interesting. I know that I have in the past. I've really enjoyed watching revenue reports to see how different YouTubers' revenue changes over time and in different niches. I always think it's just a little bit of an eye-opener. So without further rambling though, we're going to get straight into the revenue report for October and see what I earned. So I hope you all enjoy. Okay, so I'm now here in my YouTube analytics, and I'm just going to make sure that I have October selected up the top here so we can see all of the stats for October. So I had 19.6k views in October, which is roughly the same as usual, about 1.1k hours of watch time, and another 207 subscribers, and the estimated revenue for October was $219.76. So if I go over to the revenue here, you can see how this is kind of comparing to the months beforehand. September was pretty similar at $223, as I said before in this video, and it was pretty much only $4 off, although October technically had an extra day. So ideally I would have liked to have earned more in October because of that, but that's okay. And I'm still really happy with over $200. I mean, that is $200, like I always say, that I wasn't getting this time last year. I wasn't monetized yet in October last year. And it was only because of that one video that did so well and so quickly that really pushed me into monetization territory, which was really great. And then things have gone pretty well ever since. So I'm always grateful to be earning even, a couple $100 from YouTube. I always say this, a lot of people might look at that and say that it's not a lot of money, which, for a lot of people it's not these days, but it is money that I'm getting for creating content, purely for creating content on YouTube. And to me, I just feel so grateful to even have that each month. So let's go over to the revenue tab and let's have a little bit more of a deep dive. So if we're looking at the videos that did best for the month of October, you can see here that I posted a reel on Instagram every day for 6 months. Here's what happened. This is the video that did really well for me at the end of last year, and it is still kind of ticking along, to be honest, at the moment in browse features. So not as much as it was, but it definitely still earns me a little bit of money each month. And then the next most popular video with revenue was how to actually earn money on Instagram as a small creator, and then ironically how much YouTube YouTube paid me in September with 8,000 subs was actually the next one. Then how to create a free link in bio site. So I have talked about this particular video many times in these revenue reports before. This one's a really interesting one. I actually filmed this video as a bit of a test, either last year or beginning of this year. I can't quite remember when it was actually filmed, but this particular video I actually did as a test because I'd heard another content creator on YouTube speaking about the fact that she managed to really raise her RPM rate and CPM rate with a particular video that she did on a Wix tutorial, and Wix started buying the advertisements for that particular tutorial and her RPM rates were going crazy. So she was getting like really high RPM rates for the video and earning a lot of money off it. And I hadn't really heard about a lot of that kind of thing being spoken about before on YouTube, so I decided to test it out myself, and the RPM rates and CPM rates for this ended up being really, really high throughout the year. So I definitely every now and then do a bit of a check-in with this video. When I looked at it most recently, not much had been happening differently to how it'd been going anyway. But in terms of the CPM and RPM rates, really good on that video. And then the 5th most popular video for October was how to use Instagram hashtags for maximum reach. This is a video that has actually slowly gotten more popular over time. When I first posted this particular video, it didn't do that well at all. So I mean, 4.7k views is pretty good for my channel, and it has been slowly climbing over time. You can see here, it was actually doing quite poor compared to my regular videos that I was putting out. But this is the thing about YouTube, is that videos can really pick up over time and you just never know which ones are going to do well eventually. So yeah, that was one of my other popular videos for revenue. Now my RPM rate, which is rate per mile, which is my cut of what advertisers are giving me on average for the month of October, was $11.23, which is actually quite good because the CPM rate is usually about double the RPM. It can change and it can vary, but on average, for me, I've always found that to be the case. So $11.23 is actually really good for my RPM because it was sitting quite a bit lower going back a few months ago. So it has been sort of steadily climbing up, which has been nice. So if I actually go back to September, you'll see that it was $10.73, and I believe for August it was even lower again. So it has kind of just been climbing a little bit more, which has been nice. So the amount of videos that I actually posted in October was 9 in total. So it does vary just depending on how many weeks and days there are in the month, but usually I post twice a week to YouTube, so this is all based off posting twice a week. But like I said, a lot of the income is coming from videos that I posted months and months and months ago. And if we're going in to look at my lowest amount that I earned during the month, it was $3.93 on the 22nd of October. And then if we're going to the highest, it was $15.47 on October 10th. So that was around the time that I actually posted that video, how much YouTube paid me in September. So I do these videos monthly because I think it's a really good chance to actually do a bit of a deep dive. We don't always tend to see this from a lot of creators on YouTube, and it's nice to know, I feel like, with a bit more transparency, how much people are actually getting from YouTube. It just gives you an idea, if you're an aspiring content creator, what the possibilities are, especially as a small creator. This is a bit more of a smaller channel, and I feel like it might be nice to see how much is possible to earn. But to be completely fair, this channel is just one channel, and there are so many different variables in how you earn money through YouTube AdSense. You could have channels that are smaller than mine, again, with just a couple of thousand subscribers, who are earning well more than what I am per month. Or you can have people with 100,000 subscribers, aka my other channel, that earns roughly the same or a little bit more than this particular channel. So really, subscriber count means nothing when it comes to actually what you're going to be earning through YouTube AdSense. It's really all dependent on your views and the nature of the views, how long people are watching for, how many ads they're watching. There's just so many things that actually go into it, and I don't even know the entire scope of how you actually get paid. It's actually a really hard question to answer. But if we go down here, you can actually compare to the last few months that I've had. So October's sitting about $219, September's about $223, August was $184, and that's been my worst month this year. So we've sort of done like a slight rebound, not by much, but at least we're in the twos again, which is great. And you can see overall for the last 6 months, it's been pretty consistent. Like, there hasn't been too much difference with what I've been earning. But going past that, you can see here that back in January, it was nearly $700 for the month. So it really does make a difference when you have a video that does really well in any given month. It's usually going to make a pretty big impact on your revenue. And you can see here for the months that it was doing really quite well, which was about 3 or 4 months in total, the average was like around $600 that I was earning per month, which at the time I probably only had maybe 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. So I think that that was pretty good. But like I said, even though it's about $220 that I've earned for October, I am really happy with that amount. I'm happy with anything to be really earning as a content creator just for purely creating content. And I think it's not really the best idea anyway to really count on a lot of money from YouTube because it can be so volatile and you don't really know what you're going to get in any given month. But the fact is, a lot of the time, even if you do have videos that do well, it doesn't last forever and you will have lots of waves and ups and downs when you're actually looking at your revenue. But that's basically my revenue report for the month of October. And if you'd like me to do more videos like this one and more revenue reports, income reports, that kind of thing, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, make sure you do because I'll be posting a lot more videos in future. Let me know down in the comment section if you're trying to get monetized this year or next, or if you're already there, and how did your October go? I'd really love to hear your thoughts down below. In the meantime, make sure to hit the notification bell to see all the updates from my channel in future. But thank you so much as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.